Date's February 18th. The time is 17:36 hours. Call this meeting of Frederick County Public Schools to order. I'm looking for the script.
Mr. Chair, I see we have an agenda before us. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All right, we got,
If you can please amend the agenda, there should be a motions page attached.
Oh.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
I move the board approve the agenda as presented with the exception that new business item number 7 be removed since the instruction committee did not meet on February 13th, 2025, and that the request to amend the 2024-2025 school calendar be added to the agenda as new business item number 10.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion to remove and replace it with another agenda item. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Vice Chair, what's the pleasure of the board?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the County School Board of Frederick County, Virginia enter a closed session meeting for the following. 1, to review and discuss appointments, administrative leave, resignations, support staff hires, substitutes, tutors, volunteers, staff performance, and the superintendent's contract pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A.1, and for consultation with legal counsel regarding probable litigation regarding a personnel matter pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711, paragraph A.7, and for consultation with legal counsel regarding personnel matters and contract negotiations pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711, paragraph A.8.
All right, we have a motion to go into closed.
Second.
And we have a second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now in closed session. Madam Vice Chair, what's the pleasure of the board?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that we reconvene from closed session.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to reconvene and has been properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Funes?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Sturdivant?
Yes.
Mrs. Klein?
Yes.
Dr. Erskine?
Yes.
Mr. Atkins?
Yes.
Okay. We have certified and,
All right. And, Mr. Chair, I motion to certify the closed session.
all right.
I move that to the best of each board member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act were discussed in the closed session, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed session was convened were heard, discussed, or considered by the board.
Second.
All right. I have a motion, has been properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
That needs to be a roll call.
Roll call.
The roll call, that's the certification.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Ms. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Funes?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Sturdivant?
Yes.
Ms. Klein?
Yes.
Dr. Erskine?
Aye.
Mr. Atkins?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, that passes.
That passes.
And, Mr. Chair, we have one motion out of closed session. I move to approve the personnel actions as recommended by the superintendent.
Second.
I have a motion to approve and has been properly seconded. Excuse me. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And finally, Mr. Chair, I motion that we recess until 7 p.m.
Second.
It's been a motion to recess and has been properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess till 1900 hours. All right. Call this meeting of the Frederick County School Board to order. It is February 18th. The time is 19:05 hours.
And Mr. Chair, I move that the board reconvene its meeting from recess.
Second.
The motion has been to reconvene and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries.
And Mr. Chair, I move that the board approve the consent agenda as presented with the exception of the item number 3, the appointment of gifted advisory committee members. Sir, the rest of the board members just received all the resumes today and haven't had a chance to really thoroughly review them. So I would like to approve the consent agenda as
Excuse
presented
me,
with the exception of
Mr.
item
Chair,
3.
Madam Chair, I do apologize, but we haven't certified the closed session yet. And
We
if-
did right before we
We
went
did
out.
before we went for
Yes.
recess.
Okay, I
We
do
didn't do the
apologize. I
minute of
missed that.
silence and pledge of allegiance. So if you want to go through the consent agenda, and then we'll come back around to it.
Okay, well, just to get this on the record as that we're moving it, and then absolutely, we'll come back to it, so, yeah. So, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda, that the board approve the consent agenda as presented with the exception of item number 3, which is the appointment of gifted advisory committee members to enable the board more time to review those resumes to make sure that we get good folks on that committee.
Second.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, if you would join me for a moment of silence, please. Thank you for that. Now, if you'll stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, that hurt. So we've done the consent agenda, so that's
We have National Social Work Week. We do have one proclamation, Mr. Chair.
okay.
Yes.
And Mr. Bell, would you like to read that?
Yes, please. Thank you. As today is National School, or let me read the proclamation. Whereas school social workers are exceptionally skilled in providing services to students who face serious challenges to school success, including disability, poverty, discrimination, abuse, neglect, mental illness, homelessness, bullying, familial stressors, and other barriers to learning. And whereas school-based mental health programs are critical to early identification of and early intervention for mental health problems, and in the provision of appropriate services when needed, and whereas school social workers, being licensed mental health professionals in schools, provide necessary assessment, interventions, counseling, family outreach, and community referrals, whereas school social workers serve as vital members of a school's education team, playing a central role in creating partnerships between the home, school, and community to ensure student academic success. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Frederick County School Board hereby declares the week of March 2nd to 8th, 2025 as National School Social Work Week, dated this 18th day of February, 2025.
We don't need to approve that, right? Okay, so next is the staff and student recognitions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So first up on the list is our administrative appointments. So first and foremost, I would like to call up Mr. Logan Shepard as he transitions into the new Director of Planning, Development, and Construction. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Prior to his role in transportation, Mr. Shepard was the Assistant Director of Student Services for 1 year, and Assistant Principal at Sharando High School for 7 years, and additionally has 6 years of teaching experience. He has a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology and a Master of Art in Teaching from James Madison University, as well as a Master's in Education and Educational Leadership from George Mason University. Please join me again in welcoming Mr. Logan Shepard.
Dr. Hummer, members of the board, thank you for this great opportunity to take on this new role within the division and continue to serve our schools and our communities in the best way that I can. Also, I definitely want to take the opportunity to express my gratitude to everybody at Transportation. I would just like to publicly say that this is such an incredibly hardworking group of people that I've had a great privilege to work with for the last couple of years and have really enjoyed that. And again, they do a lot for our division, and I'm excited about this new opportunity and excited to get started. Thank you.
All right. Next up is Dr. Tabby Reeves, who will be joining us as the new Director of Special Instructional Services. Come on up, Dr. Reeves. Having been the Program Director at Northwestern Regional Educational Program, NREP, since 2022, Dr. Reeves also served as the Assistant Director at NREP for 4 years and the Compliance Coordinator of Special Education Administration for Virginia Beach Public Schools for 7 years. Additionally, Dr. Reeves has 8 years of teaching experience with Virginia Beach Public Schools. Dr. Reeves holds a Bachelor of Science in Human Services Counseling and a Master's in Special Education from Old Dominion University, a Behavioral Analyst credential from George Mason University, a postgraduate Master's Certificate in Educational Leadership and Administration, and a Doctorate in Educational Administration and Policy from George Washington University. Congratulations on all that schoolwork there. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Tabby Reeves.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Hummer, I'm just truly grateful for the opportunity to serve the students and families of Frederick County Public Schools in this role. I am very grateful for my school family at NREP. I'm going to miss them dearly, but I'm really excited to get things going with special instructional services, and I look forward to getting it started. Thank you so much.
All right, and thank you, Mr. Chair. I got the next 2 items as well. So February is a very special month because we recognize 2 very good groups of people. We recognize our school board for School Board Appreciation Month, as well as our clerk of the board. And let's give them a big round of applause for our appreciation for all their hard work. For our school board, thank you. Thank you for all your support, your hard work to do what's best for students in our community. And to show our appreciation, we had some of our amazing students make this artwork specifically for you in honor of their appreciation. If you want to show those to the audience there. So we had students make these, so we're very, very proud of our kids there. So thank you all so much, and we appreciate it. And we hope I hope you all display this very, very proudly. As well for our clerk of the board, Mrs. Nina DeSantis. You are outstanding and the glue that keeps us all together, and we greatly appreciate all of your work. We appreciate your organization, your timeliness, your thoughtfulness, and smiling through it all, right? You're fantastic, like you always share with me. Thank you, and we just got a small token to show our appreciation. We got you this amazing plant, and then we got you a card as well. So thank you for all that you do. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Next is citizen comments. The Frederick County School Board is pleased to receive public comment at each monthly meeting from members of the public, which include residents of Frederick County, Virginia, including residents of Winchester City, Virginia, FCPS students, parents, and legal guardians of FCPS students, FCPS employees, and businesses located within Frederick County, Virginia. Individuals speaking to the board will be allotted 3 minutes. Those individuals representing groups or organizations will be allotted 5 minutes with 1 representative per group. Upon recognition by the chair, a speaker should approach the lectern to speak to the school board. Members of the audience and speakers are expected to be courteous to others and model for students how to respectfully participate in public meetings by speaking and behaving in such a manner that adheres to the FCPS Code of Student Conduct. Complaints regarding FCPS employees should first be submitted to the school principal or to the school board office. Complaints regarding individual students should be submitted to the school principal or the appropriate school official. The school board is committed to showing respect and courtesy to all citizens. Comments that are not protected under First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution will not be tolerated. This includes comments that are vulgar, obscene, threatening, and comments that are intended to incite violence or other breaches of the peace. Members of the audience are not permitted to interrupt the speaker or meeting by asking questions or making comments. Signs, posters, placards, banners, or like objects are permitted into the school board's meetings, but only if the individual possessing such items remain in the back of the room so as not to restrict the view of those attending the meeting in person. Violations of the guidelines will result in the chair ruling the speaker out of order. Continued violation may result in the removal from the premises. We have provided copies of the updated policy as well as a QR code that will take you directly to the Code of Student Conduct Handbook. They are located on the table where the sign-up sheet was located. The chair has discretion concerning public participation at school board meetings. The school board meetings are tape recorded for the purpose of clarification and the development of official minutes. First on the list is Christy Scarborough.
Hello, board members. My name is Christy Scarborough of the Stonewall District. Your procedure that parents are to lodge complaints directly with the school principals is wrong. This is the place parents need to come to complain. None of you care about what is going on in the schools. If you did, you would not be diverting parents from coming here to air their grievances. How's about you focus on the safety of our children? Instead, you spend energy stifling parents that speak at these meetings. So, a teacher was arrested after he sent his nudes to a minor student. People are even saying this guy was already a convicted felon before he was hired. Diana, you told people not to believe what they read on social media. So, by all means, be transparent with us. Is the convicted felon Brian Patrick Sullivan, resident of Winchester, the same Brian Patrick Sullivan, resident of Winchester, that FCPS employs? After all, Ms. Klein, you did run on transparency. According to social media comments, the school principal, administration, and even Dr. Hummer knew of the vast complaints about that guy, yet nobody did anything until now. At every meeting, you virtue signal to the people. You pretend you care about the kids, but what you say is in stark contrast to what you do. You do not care about the kids. You employed a pervert felon who, by the way, had access to minors that undressed in the locker rooms. Anyways, who's ready for me to read from another explicit book? This book here was in NREP and Millbrook. Now it's just in Millbrook in Sharando. It's called Beyond Magenta, Transgender and Non-Binary Teens Speak Out. Get ready for this. Andrew called Christopher a faggot for no reason. Shut the up. You're a faggot too. You're a faggot. You're a faggot. You're gay. They called me a sissy and a faggot. From 6 up, I used to kiss other guys in my neighborhood, make out with them, and perform oral sex on them. Boys have dicks, girls have pussies. What's a pussy? A vagina. That's the kind of content that you guys use our tax dollars to pay for our students. This is it. If students want to read this, their parents can order it off of Amazon. Why are you spending my tax dollars on this? I think the budget has a lot of stuff that can be trimmed if that's the kind of content you're buying for these students. So keep an eye on those books, because next meeting I'm going to do it again, and I'm probably going to talk about that pervert teacher you hired too. Thank you.
Next on the list is Ms. Boycourt. Okay. Mr. Nuri? Moving right along. Ms. Lawson, Christina Lawson?
My name is Christina Lawson, and I live in the Gainsborough district. Freedom of speech has been brought up at a number of these meetings. There's been a lot of drama about what speakers can and can't say. I have no problem with folks speaking their minds. They actually prove my point about the need for civility and kindness and treating others with dignity and respect. The thing I don't understand is talking about freedom of speech, but what you really mean is freedom of speech, but only if you agree with my point of view or my political leanings. Freedom of ideas, but only my ideas. Freedom to learn, but only what I want you to learn. That's not true freedom. Removing books from libraries just because you don't like the author or agree with the contents. Rewriting or erasing the history and experiences of marginalized people just because it doesn't fit your worldview. Suppressing how people express themselves through art, how they live, dress, and speak. Restricting how and when people access information and what they have access to. These are all forms of censorship. Censorship of information by the government goes against the First Amendment and is unconstitutional. Censorship is the opposite of free speech. You can't have it both ways. Someone told me recently that we should all be able to live our own values, but still make room for others to live their values as well. If our society is going to survive, this should be everyone's goal. Readings from a book. I would like to read a poem by a transgender poet. It's called "Thank You, My Allies."
Is that from a
When
book?
you
Because
call
we
me
did-
by the name
we
and
did
pronouns
silence
I
somebody.
adore, you give me a gentle warm hug, a hand up, a healing balm.
Ma'am, point of order. Is that from a book that you have with you?
No.
Okay, then we're not going to allow that.
And the reason for that would be what? I can't read a poem
Because
by
I
a
have no
transgender
idea that
person?
you're actually reading it from a book if it's on a piece of paper.
Okay, I'm not claiming, I'm not claiming this is in the library.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. It's a poem by an author that you're reading
Okay.
to us.
Yes.
I misunderstood.
Yes, it's
I
not, it's,
misunderstood.
I have no idea if it's
It's
in
a-
the school or not.
Well, what's the difference between that and when Ms. Scarborough read a couple of meetings ago from a book?
There hasn't been a vulgar word come from that yet.
It's a book that's in our library.
That's not a book in our library.
I don't know if it's in the library or
reading a
not. This
poem.
is a book that I read that had a nice poem in it, I thought.
Yes,
Is there,
please.
is there a reason that I can't
Go
read
ahead.
it? There's
No.
nothing
Go ahead.
obscene in
Continue
here
on.
whatsoever, I
No, ma'am.
promise. It's important to me to support the transgender community and to show that there are things that are out there and books and things that are out there that
Go ahead.
are fine and are not, should not be disputed. Thank you, my allies. When you call me by the name and pronouns I adore, you give me a gentle, warm hug, a hand up, a healing balm, a bright smile in the dark, a heart-opening wink, a bouquet of sunflowers, a yarrow blossom circle of protection, a tender rose of sweetness, years on my life, a burst of energy, the ability to focus, a nourishing sense of safety and belonging, a happy memory, a warm cup of lemon balm love. When you call me by the name and pronouns I adore, you give me wellness, welcome, and home. Thank you. I just thought that was a nice poem. It amazes me how a simple gesture can make such a big difference in someone's life. Finally, to those in the transgender, non-binary, and broader LGBTQ plus community, you are not alone, and I will always stand with you. Have a good night. Thank you.
Tanya Seibert. Tanya Seibert. Not here. Peyton and, is it Katria Adams? Katria, I'm sorry.
Peyton Adams, Gainsborough District.
And Katria Powers, Pekin District.
Frederick County School employee arrested after sending nude photos to a student. Frederick County Schools set to reopen Thursday after threats of violence on social media closed schools Wednesday. Frederick County Schools removed middle school principal. Ex-treasurer and principal's wife pleads guilty to embezzling more than $71,000 from Jameswood High School Baseball Booster Club. Frederick County Middle School teacher being investigated for possible misconduct. Student injured in stabbing at Millbrook High School.
Now, these should all sound familiar to you because they're all news headings about our very own county. Hello, my name is Katria Powers.
And I'm Peyton Adams.
We are former students of Frederick County and are currently in school at James Madison University to become secondary educators. We thought it'd be important to speak to you all because tonight we want to show you that FCPS is not a desirable employer for future educators anymore. Coming from former students, this is not the county that we grew up in and learned to love as kids.
For me, graduation day was one of the happiest days of my life. I had dreams of going to JMU and then returning as a government teacher at Jameswood High School to work for Principal Andrews. I saw strong leadership and the connections within the school, and I really want to be part of the community of Frederick County educators. Recently, I've been doubting this dream.
When talking to our previous teachers who are current FCPS employees, many of them provide a warning about becoming a teacher and to especially avoid Frederick County. Along with our schooling, we have shadowed various teachers, and I've seen the perspective of Frederick County as a teacher and a student. As we've noticed, teachers are continuously feeling unheard, underappreciated, and out of the loop on many matters happening within their own system. Numerous teachers have expressed to us that there aren't safe avenues to speak on discrepancies within their county that will be heard and responded to. These meetings are meant to hear what your citizens, staff, and students should feel should be addressed. In my own experience, speaking at these meetings have become pointless because nothing comes of it. I spoke to the board just last year as a student, and nobody contacted me after the fact. People in your county don't feel heard, and this is a prime example.
Just in the past 3 years, this county has faced various legal proceedings. There has been a school board member charged federally for the January 6th riot, 2 principals suddenly retiring or being removed, an administrator caught sending nudes to a student, 3 educators charged with misconduct with student, a beloved teacher of the year returning her awards. These are leaders of growing minds that are representing this school system. Just a couple months ago, there was a student stabbed in a classroom. Students don't feel safe with the people who are trained to be their support systems.
Frederick County needs to start listening to their teachers and the strong leaders they already have. These are educators who know the system, know the students, and what issues should be addressed in their own schools.
Frederick County is one of the fastest growing counties in Virginia, leaving most of the schools overpopulated and understaffed. According to the FCPS job openings, there are currently 89 vacancies in the county, with majority being educators, student support staff. Have you ever wondered why there's so many openings?
Thank you for your time.
Heather Lockridge.
Good evening, Dr. Hummer and members of the school board. My name is Heather Lockridge, and I am from the Gainsborough District. I received an email today in regards to how the administration of Frederick County Public Schools, Jameswood High School, has handled past concerns and complaints about Brian Sullivan. You, members of the board, too, received this email. I'm absolutely disgusted. The board may not have known. However, Dr. Hummer, you quite possibly knew inappropriate relationships with Frederick County students were occurring, and if you didn't, then the ball falls with the administration at Jameswood High School. Somebody could have prevented this 17-year-old student from receiving these sexually explicit images had they acted on the complaints and past concerns about Brian Sullivan having these inappropriate relationships with the Frederick County students. Some names that have been mentioned to me are previous Gainsborough School Board member Mike Lake, Frederick County Administration, Dr. Abby, Dr. Hummer, Katie Freakley, and Human Resources, Jameswood High School Administration, Sam Gross, which is the former principal, Shelley Andrews, the current principal, and Liz Bout. Shelley Andrews received notification requesting to be called with still no response as of today, according to the person I spoke with. Dr. Hummer, I don't know whether you are relaying this information to your school board or maybe just the chairman, Mr. Sturdivant. At which I would understand why he's not opening his mouth. He doesn't want any more scrutiny for the conflicts of interest in hiring his own daughter, unbeknownst to the rest of your board. You've lost the trust of the parents who send their kids to your care 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. I pray that this occurrence is an isolated event, not that only this one student. However, I'm not confident that this is the case. I have also brought some personal concerns to you, Dr. Hummer, in regards to your hiring procedures, in addition to my views with the sexually explicit books. Dr. Hummer, I got up and spoke in August at your school board meeting and showed you a 2024 yearbook from Apple Pie Ridge where a second grade teacher, a former fifth grade teacher, refers to himself as Maya. You still have yet to get back to me in regards to the man that you hired. In our meeting, you said as far as you know, you hired a man. Do you know who your personnel is? Does a man often go by a woman's name? I bring this up in addition to that second grade teacher. What else are you guys sweeping under the rug? The parent that reached out to me says she's been trying to communicate this for years, and for the inappropriate dealings between Brian Sullivan and students. Years. That has been what has been going on for years, and you guys are covering. What else do you know and aren't willing to stand up and protect our kids? What is it going to take for you guys to look out for our kids? I am a parent. I am also representing people that want our kids taken care of. You have
Time.
You have the care of our kids, and I expect better in a leader.
Time.
Thank you.
Jack Tinsley. Jack Tinsley. Jim Schwartz.
Is it Dr. Jack Middleob? Middleob?
Anything close?
Jack, M-I-A-O, looks like L-L.
Or LL?
Nope.
Middle?
Joe Pratt.
Hello, my name is Joe Pratt. I'm from the Gainsborough District. I would like to start my talk off with a quote by Maya Angelou. I hope that is okay. Quote, "We all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all threads of the tapestry are equal in value, no matter what their color." While I don't stand before you as a teacher, I speak as a community member who believes that education and the protection of our youth is a collective responsibility. Each of us, whether in the classroom or not, plays a vital role in educating and safeguarding the next generation. Our schools should be sanctuaries of learning where every student feels secure and protected. This includes safeguarding their constitutional protections under the First Amendment's guaranteed freedom of speech and expression, the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable searches, and the Fifth Amendment's right against self-incrimination. The Supreme Court has consistently upheld that these constitutional protections don't stop at the schoolhouse gate. In fact, Plyler v. Doe establishes that all children have the right to public education regardless of immigration status. This ruling underscores our obligation to create an environment where every student can focus on learning without fear. Teachers serve as frontline defenders of these fundamental rights. These must be empowered with clear protocols that prioritize student safety. This includes understanding that they are not required to share student information without proper legal authority, and that they have the duty to protect students' constitutional rights. I urge this board to review and strengthen existing policies to ensure they explicitly outline the protections afforded to all students and the protocols staff must follow to uphold these protections. Our policies must reflect our values as a community and our obligations to one another. I would like to conclude this with another quote by a writer, James Baldwin. "The children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe, and I'm beginning to suspect that whoever is incapable of recognizing this may be incapable of morality." Thank you for your time.
Cleo, is it Strobadus?
Cleo couldn't make it, so I'm here for her.
And you are?
Rebecca Rager. I also signed up online, but. Let her talk.
Which district? You're not on my papers. Which district? What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Rebecca Rager.
R-E-A.
R-A-G-E-R.
R-A-G-E-R.
It's like Hager with an R.
Okay.
All right, my name is Rebecca Rager. I live in the Gainsborough District of Frederick County. I'm coming to you to ask the school board to make a clear statement about ICE in our schools. I've read both FCPS Policy 427P, Relations with Law Enforcement Officials, and FCPS Regulation 427R, which do not seem to cover student encounters with federal agents during school times and activities. Several school districts around Virginia have made clear and impactful statements saying that they will protect the children in their care for unnecessary stress that comes from these types of raids and will follow strict guidelines in interacting with federal agents. I'm here to ask why FCPS has not done the same when you regularly contact parents for less. As an example, Richmond City Schools recently amended their policy to directly address immigration in their schools. I don't have time to read the entire thing, but I'm going to just paraphrase it. The school board finds that access to a school site by immigration law enforcement agents, including DHS and ICE, and other agents working with or for federal immigration agencies substantially disrupts the learning environment, and any such requests and access should immediately be referred to the superintendent or their designee. They go on to say that if agents lack a signed judicial warrant or subpoena, site administrators should do the following: document the agent's name, contact information, provide agents with a copy of the superintendent's information, ask them to leave the premises, immediately notify the superintendent's office, and the superintendent's office will immediately notify legal counsel. If a valid judicial warrant is present, of course, they notify the principal immediately. The principal shall escort the agents to a private area. The principal shall request ID from the officers. The principal shall contact the superintendent's office, which will then contact legal counsel. The principal shall request the signed judicial warrant or subpoena and request a copy or request a photocopy for documentation. The principal shall request the agents wait in the designated private area until the representative from the superintendent's office and legal counsel arrive. The principal shall also request the agent's names, contact information, their supervisor's information. If school personnel have not also done this, they would contact the guardians, and no information, including the student's schedule or behavior, should be provided without legal counsel present. So I'm just here to ask you guys to please be braver for our students. I know it's a hot topic right now, but please take a clear stance to amend the current policy covering the interactions with the federal agents so that schools have a clear plan, and also so that our parents, we know that we trust you with our students every day. We'd like to know that we can actually trust you when they're with you. Thank you.
Next is Tim from Redbud.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, first I'm going to start with, you put this podium under the students' conduct. I am not a student. I will not comply to that. I'm an adult. You will not take my rights away from me. We can go over that separately if you'd like that. That's the first thing. Second thing, whatever this teacher did, you promote it by having these books in school. If they're able to sit there and read on how you can rape a girl and fudge pack another boy, that's what's going to happen. All right? Thirdly, I don't know if you're aware of this. Dr. Hummer, you should be made aware of this personally. There is a student, third grade, that's walking around in their classroom, touchy-feely little girls and little boys, wherever he wants. Okay? I know the principal knows about it. They're just not letting you know about it, just so you be aware of that. So when this conduct is going on in a school with the teachers and the administrations are not doing anything about it, what do you think is going to happen? So that's pretty much all I have. And I just find it pretty ironic that the person that got caught with this, whatever the last one was caught in Pennsylvania, the fudge packing capital of the world.
Yeah! Woo!
James Mulder.
Go James. That's my boy.
James Mulder, Back Creek District. Just before I start reading from this, our newly elected president that went into office back in January said DEI is dead, the woke agenda is dead. He signed an executive order of 2 genders, male and female, but we have a transgender second grade teacher in this county that still has not been dealt with. Now to my next topic, Mr. Studervant, my favorite person to talk to. You said all the books were lost or stolen in your news articles the Winchester Star did for you this past summer. I guess it takes a parent to come up and read from the books, and then they'll disappear and you'll look into them. However, I was made aware at a Board of Supervisors meeting that you can go onto the county website and pull them up yourself. Several books in every school that you campaigned on getting rid of. Campaign promises aren't too good, Mr. Studervant. Secondly, the illegal hiring of your daughter. Just wanted to let you know that our recall of you is coming to an end here shortly. We'll be turning the paperwork over to the courts, and the courts will decide appropriate action for you, which could include you reimbursing the taxpayers of this county for your daughter's salary for voting to hire her and breaking the nepotism policy. Lastly, the board controls the school administration, if I'm not mistaken. The school administration is all unelected people that are failing our kids. Yes, 12 out of the 16 years we had people that pushed for DEI and the woke agenda. They have groomed our kids long enough with the books, trying to change our kids' identity in elementary school, letting them decide what gender they want to be when there's only two genders. The time for this school board to take care of this administration and get to work and make sure this administration and the people that work for Dr. Hummer is looking out for the kids or keeping the kids safe. To me, it doesn't seem like the kids are too safe in Frederick County Public Schools. You got teachers dressing up as women, pretending to be teachers. You got teachers groping kids, sending nude pictures to kids. Wake up and do your job, please.
That concludes public comments. Next up is the superintendent report by Dr. Hummer.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do have a couple items here. First, I wanted to take a moment to recognize our students and their hard work with their academics, fine arts, and athletics. It's hard to believe that we are at the second semester. I know that has been halted by this crazy weather that we've had, and hopefully that has passed us. But our students are working hard at overcoming this, missing so much school, and I have full faith that they will continue to excel with the support that our amazing staff are able to provide them. We're also in full swing of the winter sports season, and our teams are all competing at a high level, as well as our fine arts programs. We just had an all-district band event a couple weeks ago, and our students all performed very, very well. I'm so proud of our students and looking forward to celebrating their accomplishments with all that we're working towards in regards to the end of the year with graduation. I also want to thank the school board for recognizing our amazing school social workers for their hard work and dedication to our students and community. The work that they do requires a unique set of skills to navigate some very, very rough situations. And their work does not go unnoticed, and we greatly, greatly appreciate all that they do. It is also National FFA Week, and FFA is a very, very big deal here in Frederick County, if you don't already know. I want to thank all of our students, staff, and community stakeholders for all their support for our program every day, and we are going to be celebrating with them next month. We're going to have a little event before the next board meeting in March, so we're hopeful to see them there. Lastly, I do want to take this moment to share with you all an update to the development of our new strategic plan, which we're all very excited about. First, I want to thank this amazing community for their feedback. We received over 5,000 responses from our survey, which was a great return. It goes to show that we already knew is that we have great support and investment from our community and our school system and our future. We have community stakeholders and a staff meeting to discuss the data and are now building out the goals and next steps in this process. We are pleased with the progress that we've made, and we will continue to keep you posted as we move forward with this completion. Thanks to Shantae and her team and others as we work towards making a plan that is comprehensive of all of our voices for the best interest of our students. And with that, Mr. Chair, that's all I have.
Okay. Next up is unfinished business. Now, tonight we have on the agenda to adopt the fiscal year 26 budget.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chair. I move that we delay definitely this line item until next Tuesday, which would be Tuesday, February 25th.
Second.
The reason for this is that there's some things that need to be researched. We have some board member questions pertaining to some budget amendments based on what we gleaned from the Board of Supervisors work session last week. So we're waiting for those things to be identified and get the information from that. So we don't want to belabor this issue any longer than we have to, but it does deserve to have some attention. So again, the motion on the table, Mr. Chair, is to move that we delay definitely to adopt the fiscal year 2026 budget till February 25th at, I believe, 6 p.m.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next is new business, committee reports.
Looks like it's me again.
Finance Committee.
Finance Committee work session. The Frederick County School Board Finance Committee report for January 23rd, 2025. It's been a busy budget work session and meeting here lately, getting ready for the big budget requests. So here we go. A budget work session of the Finance Committee of the Frederick County School Board was held on January 23rd, 2025. The meeting was called to order at 4:32 p.m., and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Mrs. Anderson shared the timeline for the superintendent's proposal to the final adoption by the school board. Ms. Seibert reviewed the Finance and Budget Committee meeting norms and where to find the location of the budget information on the board docs and the Frederick County Public Schools website. She also shared the definition of salary initiative terms, the methods to increase salary on the pay scale, the definition of the STEP movement, and the 5-year salary strategies. Mrs. Anderson discussed the proposed salary initiative, the fiscal year 2025-2026 salary comparison for bachelor's degrees, the Frederick County Public Schools starting salary ranked, and the difference of FCPS teacher salary compared to Loudoun County. She also reviewed the salary initiatives for teachers and classified positions. Next, Mrs. Anderson shared the salary initiatives for other professionals, administrators, supervisors, and coordinators, as well as other salary initiatives such as pay upgrades. Mrs. Anderson also discussed the state budget and the 3% compensation supplements, as well as supplementary budget information to include draft teacher pay scale scenarios and all other pay scale scenarios. The meeting adjourned at 5:27 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee budget work session are included in the minutes provided to board members. Are there any questions from the board members about information shared at the Finance Committee budget work session held on January 23rd, 2025? All right, seeing no questions, Mr. Chair, I move the board approve the minutes from the Finance Committee budget work session held on January 23rd, 2025.
Motion has been made to approve and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next is Student Conduct and Support Committee.
All right, Mr. Chairman, a meeting of the Student Conduct and Support Committee of the Frederick County School Board was held on February the 4th, 2025. The meeting was called to order at 5:39 p.m., and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Mrs. Jordan reviewed the timeline regarding the cell phone regulation as well as the current cell phone regulation. Next, she shared the disciplinary events involving unauthorized communication devices and discussed Governor Youngkin's Executive Order 33 versus the Virginia Department of Education's guidance and the differences in the current FCPS regulation and the recommendations from VDOE. She also reviewed survey responses from teachers and shared next steps. The meeting adjourned at 6:22 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to board members. Are there any questions from fellow board members about information shared at the Student Conduct and Support Committee held on February the 4th? Seeing none, Mr. Chairman, I move that the board approve the minutes from the Student Conduct and Support Committee meeting held on February the 4th, 2025.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries. And we have a second Student Conduct Support Committee report.
Yes, and for your listening pleasure, a meeting of the Student Conduct and Support Committee of the Frederick County School Board was held on February the 5th, 2025. The meeting was called to order at 4:07 p.m., and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, the committee went into a closed session to review and discuss individual student matters that would involve specific students and particular information contained in their scholastic records, including disciplinary matters pursuant to Virginia Code 2.2-3711A.2. After reconvening and certifying the closed session, the committee voted unanimously to uphold the hearing officer's recommendation to expel Student A from Frederick County Public Schools with referral to the IEP team for educational services on a 3-0 vote. The matter does not require further action by the full board. The meeting adjourned at 5:19 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to board members. Do any fellow board members have questions about the Student Conduct and Support Committee meeting held February the 5th? Seeing none, Mr. Chair, I move the board approve the minutes from the Student Conduct and Support Committee meeting held on February the 5th, 2025.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is the Finance Committee Budget Work Session.
That's me again. Frederick County School Board held a Finance Committee meeting on February 6, 2025. A budget work session of the Finance Committee of the Frederick County School Board was held on February 6, 2025. The meeting was called to order at 4:33 p.m., and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Mrs. Anderson reviewed board member questions and a request from the previous committee work session. She also discussed school board priorities, staffing standards, and additional positions. Mrs. Reeves shared that the special education programming at Northwestern Regional Education Program, NREP, and Mrs. Anderson reviewed the Frederick County Public Schools share for NREP. Mrs. Knight discussed the Instruction Department Data Management System, the curriculum development and professional learning. Next, Mrs. Anderson reviewed the needs of the Transportation Department, the Safety and Security Department, the Technology Department, and the School Nutrition Fund. Ms. Freakley discussed human capital management, and Mrs. Anderson and Mrs. Seibert discussed the results of the employee survey. The meeting adjourned at 6:07 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee budget work sessions are included in the minutes provided to board members. Are there any questions from board members about the information shared at the Finance Committee budget work session held on February 6, 2025? All right, seeing no questions, I move the board approve the minutes from the Finance Committee budget work session held on February 6, 2025.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries. Where are we at here? Personnel Committee is next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A meeting of the Personnel Committee of the Frederick County School Board was held on February 6, 2025. The meeting was called to order at 6:15 p.m., and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Mrs. Freakley thanked Mr. Funes for being the Personnel Committee Chair in 2024 and welcomed Mr. Bell as the current Chair of the Personnel Committee. Mrs. Campbell gave a staffing update which included professional vacancies, teacher vacancies by content, support vacancies, professional vacancies filled as of 1/23/2025, and the years of experience of new teachers. Mrs. Rinker shared the celebrations of recruitment efforts and discussed the FY25 new teacher hires based on the prior employer by years of experience, and the FY24 resignations by elementary and secondary levels. She also reviewed contracted services and the retention of employees and gave a recruitment and retention update, including recruiting plans. Mrs. Edwards-Johnson discussed the Employee Assistance Program, EAP, as part of the FCPS Employee Benefit Highlight. Next, Mrs. Freakley reviewed HR's Best Practices Learning Series and the results of the Survey of Intent, as well as the Employee Code of Conduct and an Employee Code of Conduct timeline. She also discussed the Human Capital Management, HCM, system overview. Lastly, Mrs. Freakley reminded people of the upcoming Teacher Career Fair on March 1st, 2025 at Robert E. Ayler Middle School. The meeting adjourned at 6:58 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to board members. Are there any questions from board members about information shared at the Personnel Committee meeting held on February 6th? All right. Hearing none, I move that the board approve the minutes from the Personnel Committee meeting held on February 6th, 2025.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next is Building and Grounds.
Mr. Chairman, a meeting of the Building and Grounds Committee of Frederick County Public Schools was held on February 10th, 2025. The meeting was called to order at 4:34 p.m., and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Mr. Davis discussed the CAP highlight list, the Facilities Department organization, the state of facility services, and the proposed facilities strategic reorganization regarding the custodial branch. Mr. Kenny gave an update on the capital improvement plan, the CIP projects. Mr. Lee and representatives from First Energy discussed the proposed easement amendment at Millbrook High School, and Mr. Lee also reviewed the proposed easement changes at Millbrook High School together with representatives from Rappahannock Electric Cooperative, REC. Mr. Goodwin shared information on the top of Virginia Hockey Alliance floor tile replacement request, and Ms. Chapman reviewed the request for proposal, the RFP process for the the invitation for bid IFB process. The meeting adjourned at 5:18 p.m. Additional details regarding the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to board members. Do board members have any questions for what was covered during the Building and Grounds Committee meeting held on February 10th? Seeing none, I've got 3 action items coming out of this committee meeting. 1, I move that the board approve the proposed easement amendment at Millbrook High School.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Number 2, I move the board approve the proposed easement change at Millbrook High School with the stipulation that REC will pay.
Mr. Atkins, point of order, just to bring up, it looks like the first one is a little confusing. In the First Energy request, it's actually a two-part move, two-part motion, excuse me. So we did the first one, but then there's a second.
I didn't get part 2.
Yeah. There's a main motion and a sub-motion, yep.
All right. Second motion to there. REC request, First Energy. I move the board approve First Energy's request to amend the easement to permit the construction of a 3-pole structure in the current easement. I further move that the board authorize the chair to execute the easement in substantiality, the same form as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. And then moving to the second item, I move that the board approve the proposed easement change at Millbrook High School with the stipulation that REC pays FCPS $56,000 for the additional land request in the easement, plus pay the legal fees associated with this project not to exceed $3,000. I further move the board authorize the chair to execute the quitclaim deed of easement and right-of-way easement agreement in substantiality, the same as presented.
Second.
All right, motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Final motion, I move that the board approve the minutes of the Building and Grounds meeting held on February 10th, 2025.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the superintendent, I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
Okay, next on the agenda is the superintendent's contract.
Actually, let's go back up, because remember we made an amendment? Or is that the last item?
That was the last item.
Thank you.
We removed that one from the agenda.
Yep, thank you.
Mr. Chair, Whereas the superintendent has completed at least 2 years of his initial term in accordance with Virginia Code Section 22.1-60, and whereas the school board desires to renew the superintendent's contract for an additional term of approximately 3 years and 4 months, and whereas the school board represents that each member has received sufficient notice of the superintendent's contract renegotiations in accordance with Virginia Code Section 22.1-60 prior to voting on the contract, now therefore I move to terminate the superintendent's existing contract at midnight tonight, February 18th, 2024, deeming his office to have also expired, and further move to reappoint him immediately thereafter to a new 3-year and 4-month term to commence February 19th, 2025, and to end June 30th, 2028, with the understanding and conditions reflected in the new superintendent's employment agreement. I further move to authorize and direct the chair to execute said superintendent's employment agreement with a final form subject to the approval of legal counsel to memorialize the understanding negotiated between the school board and superintendent.
Second.
All right, a motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I would like to request a roll call vote.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I do have some discussion, Mr. Chair. So for those of you who may not have realized, we swapped over to a new school board association. So we are now under the School Board Member Alliance, or School Board Member Association. I was just at one of their conferences in Richmond back in November, and I had 2 members of that organization come up to me from counties that will remain unnamed that said, hey, we want him back. So he is a very hot commodity, if you will. So Dr. Hummer, we're very pleased that you chose to stick with us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, I want to say, you know, when it comes to superintendent contracts, you made it kind of easy on us. You definitely didn't ask for a lot compared to superintendents throughout the Commonwealth. I didn't ask for a car, so made it easy on the taxpayers. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate your leadership and guidance through even some of these hard times. So thank you for all you've been doing, and keep up the good work.
The hot tub was a bit much, but we'll talk.
Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman. Jeez. So, just in the short time that I've been on the board, one of the things I think the public appreciates is knowing what they're getting for their dollar. I wish that I could find a way to communicate with the public out there how much we get and what a bargain we're getting it for with respect to this superintendent. The only thing that we couldn't get him to do was take days off. And I wish I was kidding, I'm not. I have yet to find a day of the week or an hour where a phone call or a text or an email doesn't get answered. There is no better champion right now for our kids and our staff and our community than Dr. Hummer, and I just wanted to say thank you for being willing to stick with us for a while.
Thank you.
Hearing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Martin?
Chairman,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would put forth that we eliminate this problem with the books. I feel that we need to take any sexually explicit books out of our libraries.
Okay, we will discuss that directly, but do you have a comment on the superintendent's contract?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right. Hearing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Funes?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
Aye.
Mr. Sturdivant?
Aye.
Mrs. Klein?
Aye.
Dr. Erskine?
Aye.
Mr. Atkins?
Aye.
That motion carries. Next on the agenda is the A&E Contract Award.
Ms. Chair, I move.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I may?
Sure.
If I may, thank you. What I would like to do is I want to call up Mr. Goodwin to provide you all with some information with where we are with this current process, so we can also inform the public as well. And then I would like to call the motion, if that's okay. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. It's great to see you, Dr. Hummer. Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you tonight. Staff has put a great deal of effort into this opportunity we have for you. We appreciate the trust that Dr. Hummer and the board has placed in us to conduct this business. On November 13th, the request for a proposal to secure an A&E firm for the Fourth High School was posted as required via eVirginia and the FCPS website. The team then planned and held a pre-proposal conference with interested firms, which was very exciting, on December the 4th. A site visit after that meeting took place was offered, or firms could come and look at that at their opportunity as they set up an appointment. The next steps in the process included interested firms being offered the opportunity to ask questions about the request for the proposal, with a December 11th deadline for questions, and all proposals were due back to us for the project by December the 18th, right before the holiday. So in total, we had 8 A&E firms submit proposals for the project. The committee reviewed and scored each of the submitted proposals as required as a part of the process from December 19th all the way to January the 7th. Based on the outcome of that process, 5 firms were asked to come here for oral presentations and an interview, and the committee spent January 15th and January 16th listening to those oral presentations and conducting interviews with each of the firms. A number of committee members then completed negotiations with the top-ranked offerer or firm from January 21st and concluded those negotiations just this past week. So, Dr. Hummer, I now turn this item back over to you for you to describe next steps in the process and to ask any questions you have of me.
So, Madam Vice Chair, I just wanted to make sure that we were able to get that information out in regards to where we got to this point, and if there's any questions that we can ask at this time, but there is a motion before you.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Goodwin.
Thank you.
So, as we move on, I move the board award the contract for architectural engineering engineering services for the construction of the new high school to VLK Architects LLC, and to authorize the division superintendent to execute and deliver a final form of agreement with VLK substantially using the AIA B101 form and VLK's proposal, with such additions, deletions, adjustments, and other changes as division council may recommend and the division superintendent may approve, such approval to be evidenced conclusively by the division superintendent's signature thereon, and provided further that the base fees and expenses payable under such contract shall not exceed $8,252,000.
Second.
Okay. It has,
Get a roll call, that's a big number.
well, we've had a motion and it has been properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
A roll call vote, please.
So I do have some discussion, just some comments. So all of us up here on the dais had the opportunity to review all the submissions that made it to the final cut, if you will, of the firms that applied. So I sat down and had the opportunity to go through those documents. I also had the opportunity to read through all of Mr. Goodwin's team's comments on each one, and I feel very, very confident that VLK was a solid choice. So thank you to your team, Mr. Goodwin, for that. One thing that really stood out to me with VLK's proposal is they were very specific to our community. They heard our concerns about cost, they heard our concerns about the growth, they heard our concerns about the timeline, and they took all of those things into consideration. And I can't wait to see what they produce for us. So, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Ms. Martin? Aye. Mr. Funes?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
Aye.
Mr. Sturdivant?
Aye.
Mrs. Klein?
Aye.
Dr. Erskine?
Aye.
Mr. Atkins?
Aye.
That passes.
Mr. Chair, if it's
Sir.
okay, I have Mr. Goodwin, and actually VLK is here in the room. Want to come up and introduce them to you all, so we can have them come up with Mr. Goodwin, and you can ask a few questions if you'd like, or more. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
If they draw bad, we know to throw the pitchforks at.
While they come to the podium to address you, I want to thank you again for the opportunity we have to do this with such an amazing community that's looked forward to it for quite some time. Our committee was very excited about how much that this firm wants to include the board and include the community in the process, which I know is one of the driving things that you really wanted to have happen. Of course, that was from Dr. Hummer as well. Make sure everyone is included in this process. So from VLK tonight with us, we have Mr. Dirk Jeffrey and also Matt Wajusback. I want to make sure that's get you. Okay, Matt. I'm sure he'll correct me when he comes up. But these folks are here tonight to they asked if they could come and say thank you and also a few words about the next steps in the process. So I want to thank them for being here and welcome them to the podium. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Sturdivant, Dr. Hummer, members of the board. Ms. Knight, it's nice to see you again. Ms. Anderson, you as well. Mr. Goodwin, thank you for your comments as well. My name is Dirk Jeffrey, principal at VLK. This is Matt Wagasback. Very close. We are so excited to be chosen to do this project with you. We're also, on behalf of our entire firm, all of our team of consultants, very talented folks, very grateful for the opportunity to design this fourth high school for you. We understand this project has taken many years and much work to get to this point. We understand that the expectations are appropriately high, and we welcome that. And we look forward to beginning the process of meetings and conversations with your constituents to understand what matters most to Frederick County. Our focus is to ensure that the school that is built is the one that you feel is best for you. Already, we've begun working with Ms. Knight and Mr. Kenny, Mr. Lee, and others to develop a work plan for the next 60 days that includes meetings with teachers, administrators, students, parents, board members, and others in the community to solicit their ideas and their input. Weather permitting, we have scheduled crews to begin next Monday to begin boundary and topographic surveys of the site and to delineate the extent of any protected wetlands that may be on the property. Our work is intended to move quickly over the next 12 months so that this time next year, we'll be within just a few weeks of advertising the project for bids in March of 2026 and be under construction in the summer of 2026. We appreciate your confidence in our firm. We'll work very hard to earn and to keep your trust in the months and the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, if I may, just one more quick thing. Just so that the public knows, the Board of Supervisors is currently in the process of hiring their own architectural firm to also design the fourth high school. So we have yet to hear any words from them about that, but as soon as we do, I'm sure that they will, as soon as we know, I'm sure you all will know, but if you have any questions about that, I encourage you to reach out to your Board of Supervisors member. So there's been some talk of that. I just want to make sure that that is clear. There again, this is a $8.2 million project, so thank you, VLK, for taking the responsibility of that and being great fiduciaries of our funds. Thank you in advance.
All right. Next up is board member comments. I usually go last, but I'm going first today. Why are you shaking your head?
Yeah, can we go to the instructional item now?
Oh,
Sorry.
Item number 10.
Remember item number? Yeah.
I don't have an item number 10.
Well, because you made a motion because we didn't have the instructional committee meeting.
Mine stops at 9.
Right, but you made a motion to add an
Oh,
item.
okay.
Yeah, it was the item that I was talking about earlier. So if we can discuss that really quick, one more motion.
Dr. Heimer, do you have a present? Well,
Yes.
Okay, so that's-
So with that, I'm going to call it Mrs. Knight. And this is in response to all of these snow days and all of these missed days of school. We have a plan in place to recommend what we can do to overcome the instruction that was missed, as well as to make up some of these days. So Mrs. Knight will go ahead and present that to us. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hummer. And of course, good evening, Board Chair, Madam Board Chair, members of the board. Thank you always for the opportunity to present in front of you. And of course, anything that we can do to help improve instructional outcomes for our students. So very quickly, we have worked collectively as a team to include the voices of our principals and whomever else that they reached out to try to determine how we could make up for some of the lost time. Presenting in front of you here is the elementary plan. The secondary plan mirrors it really closely. What we have proposed for your approval is a calendar adjustment in three different ways. We want to adjust the March 7th date and the March 10th date, which will, at least currently, are instructional planning days for teachers, as well as an unencumbered planning day. We'd like to turn those into student instructional days, and then March 14th, we'd like to extend the quarter. The quarter currently ends on March 6th. We want to extend the quarter to March 14th, which would then gain us an additional seven days. So when you count the two collectively, that would be 9 days we would gain back for instruction, with your permission. In addition to the extended days, we'd like to adjust our pacing with a focus on priority standards or power standards. Basically, it's essential learning. Limit the number of field trips. We are not excluding field trips, but prioritizing field trips that only enrich the content. And then continuing use of any remediation and tutoring programs to support our student learners. And the secondary plan looks exactly the same. So our recommendations are as follows. Again, we'd like to recommend the modification of the current division calendar to reflect March 7th and March 10th to be changed to instructional days. And we recommend that the calendar be further modified to shift marking period 3 from the end of March 6th to March 14th.
Mr. Chair, I have a couple of questions, if I may.
Absolutely.
The first is the 2 days, the one unencumbered day, I understand. But the one teacher workday that would be, can you go back to the dates, please?
Absolutely.
I believe it's March 7th. What are the teachers going to miss by not having that planning session? Are they going to miss the opportunity to receive continuing education credits, or what is it that they would have done?
Well, there are a variety of things that were hosted or planned to be hosted on those days, all of which we are comfortable moving. So there's nothing that is irrevocable.
Okay. And then secondly, with extending the third quarter, does that then shorten the fourth quarter?
Well, the fourth quarter, sure, it'll shorten the fourth quarter, but it has a healthy number of days. I think it's about 47 days.
I see.
48, maybe. Julie, you want to kind of? 47 days would be in fourth quarter, and I think this makes third quarter approximately 38 days or so.
I see. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Atkins.
Ms. Knight, I just wanted to say thank you to you and your team for putting this together. I know it's been hectic with the snow days and everything, and I know you guys are adjusting on the fly, so thank you for putting this together on such a short timeline. I know a lot of hard work went into it, so thank you.
Thank you, and I want to thank our teachers and our principals because they were amenable to this immediately. They were eager to make adjustments. In fact, I believe it was the principals, is that right, Julie, who made the request to extend the school year, to extend the quarter. That was the idea of the principal, so I want to give all credit to them.
And do we need to make a motion for that, or?
Yes, so there is a motion to approve these because this is an adjustment to the calendar. So you are required to make an motion for both of these items, please.
Separately or together?
Together. I have it right here.
On the motion sheet, there is one motion that will accomplish everything Ms. Knight just discussed with the board.
Any questions for Ms. Knight before we press? No. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Knight. Mr. Chair, I move the board amend the 2024-2025 school calendar as follows. March 7th, 2025 and March 10th, 2025 will be changed from professional development days to instructional days for students, and the third quarter will be extended to end on March 14th, 2025, and the fourth quarter will now begin on March 17th, 2025.
Oops.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, sorry I jumped in before, but I feel that we've been delving on this issue and that we should do something about it and eliminate.
We're still on the calendar.
We're still on the calendar.
We're on the calendar. We'll get to board comments in a minute.
Go right ahead.
Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, last is board member comments, and I usually go last, but I'm going to go first today. I did run on removing sexually explicit books from the schools, and I did attempt to do that. I did not say I removed all the sexually explicit books from the school. That is not what I said. That is a misrepresentation of what I said. I said I got 2 off the list because they were stolen. That is what I said. If you will read the articles from June 4 and June 18 in the Winchester Star, you will see that in my attempt to remove certain books from the school, I did change my mind on one, and something knocked out by my Nunga-Nungas, which I found out it wasn't what I thought it was. The last book was the book Crank, and it was the instruction committee, Mr. Bell and Mr. Adkins, who stopped that book from being removed. I did not get a whole lot of support in my attempts to remove the books last year, but I did not say I removed all the sexually explicit books, and I'll thank you if you're going to quote me accurately and don't lie. Next, on the books, I still feel that the books should be taken out of there. I've never changed my opinion on that. And the vice chair and I are working on a policy right now as we speak, and we will deal with those things when they come down the pike. I've been called corrupt. I've been called a criminal. You can laugh all you want to, brother. But you're the one been calling me that. I've been a law enforcement officer for 36 years. I ain't corrupt and I ain't a criminal. Do your worst. Do what you got to do. But I'm telling you now, stop calling me a criminal, because I'm not a criminal. Yeah, whatever. You had your opportunity and now it's mine. I ain't a criminal. You want to recall me? Recall me at this point. But I did attempt to get the books out of there, and I was thwarted on those attempts by people on this dais. So don't say I didn't try and do my campaign. I did. I did try. Other than that, I'm done. Next.
I would still like to make a motion to.
A motion.
A motion to eliminate these books, as sexually explicit books in our libraries.
Mr. Funes, that it's coming in March. So that we have, in order to make a motion, it has to be on the agenda. So we don't have that as an agenda item this month.
It will be on the agenda next month.
It will be on the agenda next month.
Caitlin, can he make a motion? I'm sorry, you're not Caitlin.
The agenda has already been approved by the board. That was not on the agenda. In order to move forward with a motion, there would have to be a motion to amend the agenda to put that action item on the agenda for it then to move forward to a motion.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to amend the agenda and then make your motion?
I would like to get this going, yes.
So then you need to motion that you would like to amend the agenda.
Okay, I put forth that I amend the agenda
To what?
to eliminate the sexually explicit books in our libraries.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and has been properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Is there, Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I just want to make sure I'm understanding Mr. Funes correctly. Is there a specific book that you want us to take action on? Because I want to make sure that that I know exactly what we're saying yes or no to. And
We're not going by specific books. We're going by content.
So, Mr. Funes, just to clarify, all the books listed on the sexually explicit book list?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair, if I may just clarify so there's no confusion, the current motion before the board is to amend the agenda to discuss this item.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, so we're just amending the agenda to
We're
discuss
just
this
amending the
item.
agenda right now. We'll have a chance to discuss it, then we can.
Okay.
Okay, so is there discussion on amending the agenda? Hearing none, then I'm going to ask Madam Clerk to call the roll.
Ms. Martin? Yes. Mr. Funes?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
No.
Mr. Sturdivant?
No.
Mrs. Klein?
No.
Dr. Erskine?
no.
Mr. Atkins?
Aye.
4-3.
That motion does not carry.
All right, back to.
All right, back to member comments.
All right. Mr. Chair, I want to go ahead and congratulate Mr. Shepard on making his lateral move. It's awesome. Like I said to you earlier, I hate losing you out of transportation, but your leadership everywhere you've been has always been impeccable. So I know you'll do good wherever you go. And I'm so sorry, Dr. Reeves. I wrote it down, but my handwriting's bad. So Dr. Reeves, thank you, for manning your new home as well. The human services aspect of any organization is amazing. So thank you. Dr. Hummer, congratulations on the new contract. So I heard a couple of things tonight, and, the big thing in the room, right, is, what happened over at James Wood. We're all appalled by it. I promise you that. There's limited things that we can say about it because we are the employer, and Virginia laws say that we can't say a whole lot about it. It is what it is. We got to let the sheriff's department do what they got to do. to get through this. And it kills me that I can't say more. It really, really does. For those of you out there that know me, you know that I'm really chomping at the bit to just let it loose. Then I heard a couple different things out there when we had some speakers. Some of the folks love the books that are in the schools. Well, I think they've got a screw loose, to be honest with you. It doesn't have anything to do with curriculum. Get it out. Then we heard people wanting us to amend our policy to not allow ICE in the schools. I don't think that they're coming into the schools, anything like that. But even if they did, this board member's not going to stand in their way. I stood up to the government once, and you guys freaked out last time, so chill. If they come,
Ma'am,
that's cool.
you're
You had
out
your
of
time,
order. Sit
I got
down.
my time. So if they show up, hey, that's a federal mandate. It's a federal law. We're not going to go and stand in their way. Or I'm not, at least. I don't know how the rest of the board feels. The rest of it, Frank, I understand your motion earlier, and I appreciate the motion. It's honestly not the right time. I know that there's the chair and vice chair have been working on a pretty bang-up policy that's going to eliminate these books out of the library because they don't have any room in our curriculum. So I kind of want to see how that comes to light. And we got to have a method to the madness before we do it. So I'm trusting in them to get that done, and we'll be voting on that here shortly, at next month's meeting. I'm sure there'll be some people up in arms about it. That's awesome. Bring it. Bring the heat. But yeah, it's time to get all this crap out of our schools. It's time to get back to teaching kids the way that the parents out there want them to be taught. If you want to teach your kids whatever you want to teach your kids, God bless you. Go to the library, rent a book, go buy it off of Amazon. There's a million different ways to do it. But that's not going to happen in the schools, all right? Don't like it, start your own school.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Atkins, thank you for that segue. So, Mr. Funes, I am 100% on board with you and have been ever since I took this seat just over a year ago. The one thing that I've learned as a brand new policymaker is there's two types of policy. There's knee-jerk policy that you just make and it sticks for maybe a month before there's holes shot in it, and then that policy disappears. And then there's the slow and steady policy that's smart, that's nuanced, that's researched, that's backed. That's what Scott and I have been working on for over a year. The book issue is nothing new. Nothing new at all, despite those that come up to the lectern and claim that it is. It's been something that's been on our hearts and minds for a long time. I'll caution you that you kind of have to beware of the quiet people because we're the ones in the background working diligently to get things done. So, Frank, you gave us a foreshadowing of things to come. Come join us in these seats in March, and you'll see what that policy looks like. And as Mr. Atkins said, I think a lot of people will be very pleased, and I think some people are going to be upset, and that's okay. But we've listened to our constituency, we've listened to this county, and we're going to press forward. So, more to follow. Regarding the issue at hand at Jameswood High School, there's a lot that I want to say right now. A lot. However, we are the employer, and the sheriff's office is the investigatory entity. It is in their hands. And as the employer, if we want this kind of behavior to stop, we have to remain silent while they go through their investigation. I highly recommend that you stay tuned in to the sheriff's office Facebook pages and their social media channels. They are doing an excellent job of keeping the entire community updated with accurate information. I will tell you that what you have seen, what came out Friday morning, that was leaked by a member of this board, we don't know who, doesn't really matter, it's out in the bloodstream now. Everything you saw was wrong. And when you put something in writing that's wrong, that threatens someone's reputation, it's slander. So I would not want to be that individual that posted what was posted. I'm glad I'm not that individual. Careful what you see and what you believe in the media. I'll make my call to action like I do a lot of times from this dais. Thank you all for being here, first of all. Thank you to the speakers who had the moxie to get up and speak to us. We want to hear from you. And to Mrs. Scarborough, as vile as some of the things that come out of her mouth are, she's not wrong to come up here and voice her opinion and her disdain. We may not agree with how she does it. That's not the point. But she answered my call to action as a parent and came up and expressed concerns, and that's what I would ask of each and every one of you sitting out there, students, teachers, parents, constituents. Please continue to do so. There's only 7 of us here. We're not omnipotent. We're not clairvoyant. We cannot be everywhere, and we do not know everything. We're depending on you. So thank you in advance for keeping us informed and helping us hold the district accountable.
Mr. Chairman. So I want to add a couple of new things before I amend anything that was said. First, I'm also not going to be a party to, and at least from my perspective, I want nothing to do with obstructing justice. There is a very clear federal law in place. There is also very clear guidance that went out to our school administrators last week with respect to how to handle any potential visits that they may get from any law enforcement agency, even though none have happened in America yet, despite what you think you saw on TikTok. The law is the law, so read a book. The next thing would be, I will be right there with you, Mr. Frank, when it comes to getting rid of these specific books. This filth has no place in our school libraries. What families choose to share with their kids at home or outside of the school is one thing. Obviously, this is a nuanced discussion, right? Are we going to start getting rid of Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer and all these things? No. But right. And I want you to know that I absolutely will be voting with you when that time comes. I've also learned, much like Mrs. Klein said, that there is a process that we have to go through if we want it to stick. And as passionate as we get about getting rid of some of this stuff, there is a right way to do it. We are not the only school division in America within 20 miles of here dealing with this. We are dealing with it, and I will be there to support you when we do. When it comes to the budget, we're asking, not yet, but next week, we're going to be asking the Board of Supervisors for a lot of money. And here's what I'd like for you to think about as a citizen, especially if you're a conservative when it comes to fiscal policies and fiscal issues. We have a statutory obligation to educate kids and to do it right. Our job is to put forth the best, most responsible budget we can, make our case the best we can, and then lobby the board like any other citizen, right? And we'll continue to do that. And I want to thank the Board of Supervisors for inviting us last week and for a really great discussion. And I hope there's more good conversations to come. I like talking with anybody who wants to talk with me, which leads me to the next thing about emails, phone calls. We're getting a lot of them. At least I can only speak for me, but I want you to know that when I get an email, I respond 99.9% of the time. The 0.1% that I don't, it's either because we're not legally allowed to answer the question you have, or because it's a mass email that's gone out to 100 people, right? I do respond to people every time. Much like my peers have said, there's a great deal that I would like to say about the event of the hour, but I trust law enforcement and I trust this process that it's in place in the best interest of kids and the adults in play. And when the time is right, we'll be able to talk about it. Yeah, that's where I'll stop. Thank you.
Mr. Chair. I have a couple of things to say. First and foremost, thank you very much for coming out tonight. Congratulations to everyone who came up here and spoke, as well as our new staff members. And I'm looking forward to next month's, hopefully we have some students here that we can praise and laud. As it relates to the books, I'm going to reserve my comments until after I see this policy that's been worked on for over a year. and then make my comments. Second, with regards to immigration, I believe Dr. Hummer, we have a document, and I'm not sure if it's allowed to be read in public. I won't read the whole thing, but it's entitled Immigration Procedures for Responding to Law Enforcement Requests for Access to Students and/or Student Information and Records. Is that public?
Yeah, I mean, you could
Okay.
discuss it, yeah.
So essentially, this is what we have in place. Access to a student. A law enforcement officer may not remove a student from school property without having authority to do so from one of the following: parental consent, judicial order, for example, arrest warrant, search and seizure warrant, etc. Administrative warrant, this does not have the same level of authority as the judicial warrant. Staff should not allow law enforcement officers to go past the front office until division administration has been notified and consulted as provided below. However, this directive does not apply when law enforcement is called to address an imminent safety situation. This will also help ensure staff adheres to FCPS policy 427P, Relations with Law Enforcement Officials, which states that a student should be served by law enforcement in the principal's office. This will help ensure the student is served safely without risk to other students and without the interruption to the school's normal operations. So to alleviate some concerns, we're not going to allow ICE agents to come into our schools and just start taking students away. They're going to have duly written warrants and/or parental consent. So I just want to make that clear. That's out there. That's public. So we're not just going to allow somebody to come in and take our kids. Okay? So that's that. Regarding the situation at James Wood High School, I only have a couple of things to say about this. First, I'm not appalled. I'm angry that it happened. I'm angry that it happened, and as a teacher of 30 years, I think anyone who has been a teacher for any amount of time should be angry, because the people who suffer from this aren't just those directly affected, but those that are indirectly affected. You've got family members, you've got other students, you've got other teachers, you've got administrators. So the reason I mention this is that I ask that you carefully consider the words that you use when you speak in public or on social media. Think about the source from which you got it, and is it a reliable source? Do they have firsthand knowledge? Or is it something that someone's saying to be a part of the conversation because they don't have anything better to do? Or is it because they want to stir a pot up to make things look worse than what they are? So I just caution you to carefully look at what you read and consider the source, and also to consider the other people that are involved in this that never really get the attention of the, I know what I want to say, I'm having a hard time saying it. Basically, the people who suffer from it that are not named or talked about as much as the direct effects. So other than that, my statement's going to be exactly what everyone else has said. You know, this is an ongoing investigation. We don't want to disrupt this. And quite frankly, most importantly, if this bears out to the way I think it's going to bear out, we don't want someone like this to be able to teach ever again anywhere in this country, in this world. We don't want them anywhere. So saying things that are not true can jeopardize that. I think that's it. Oh, Thursday. This Thursday, right across the street over there at Jameswood Middle School, I'm having a schoolhouse chat. I would love to see you all come, whether you're from the Opequon District or not. If you have any questions, I'll do my very best to answer them. If you only have questions about what happened in Jameswood, there's only so much that I can speak to. But I'm happy to listen to any concern or comment or worry that you have. So with that, I thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and the rest of the members of the board. That's it.
think everybody said it all.
Mr. Chair, one last thing. And I know we talked about this earlier, but the heroes in this bad story are the kids who, or the people who spoke up about what happened over at James Wood and made it public. You know, they weren't scared. They came forward and said what they had to say so it would stop. If there's anybody out there that knows anything about this case or any other cases that are going out there, please come forward to administration, coming forward to law enforcement. Let us know so we can get it to stop. Thank you.
Come forward to your parents. Come forward to your grandparents, someone that you can talk to. Come forward, because it shouldn't happen to you at all.
Yeah, I will say something to the students primarily. Please do not be afraid to speak up. It'll be the best thing that you've ever done. You won't regret it when you get older. You'll be so glad you spoke up and told the truth to help your community and to help yourself.
And the support that you will have will outweigh any embarrassment that you could possibly have.
Hearing no further discussion, our next school board meeting is March 18th, 2025. I need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Has been moved to adjourn and been properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?